Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. As always, I want to talk about Carmelo Anthony signing with the Portland Trailblazers. I'm very, very happy for Carmelo Anthony. Obviously, he's been in a situation where he's been left out of a lot of opportunities in the latter stage of his career. Uh, don't love how things went in OKC. Don't love how things went in Houston. He didn't play his best basketball, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he deserved to be waived, particularly from Houston. OKC, I can see that wasn't a good fit, but right now, he's signed on with Portland Trailblazers, one of those Dwight Howard deals. I think he's only making like $500,000 or something like that for the season. Nothing guaranteed, so he has an opportunity to make the team and, or rather, carve out a role in the team and make his presence known. I don't know about the fit though, to be honest with you guys. I know that Portland has some guys who have left the team. Miles Leonard now in Miami. Alfred Camino now in Orlando, Mo Harkless now in LA with the Clippers. So it's one of those situations where it's like they have lost a few of their defenders and a few of their other guys are hurt. They brought on Hassan Whiteside. Not a huge fan of Hassan Whiteside, but I still think he has some upside. I still think he can get better, and if he could just work on, his focus and work on what he's trying to accomplish in his career as a center in this league. You don't have to be a stretch floor center or, a super fast center to make it in this league. Guys like Andre Drummond have similar skill sets. His teammate Nurkic, similar skill set. There should be an opportunity for Hassan Whiteside to have a pretty solid career going forward. So I hope that he's able to zero in on his focus and his conditioning and continue to grind away at what seems to be a very tough start to his career in terms of him being able to establish himself as a dominant center. It's just not happening when we know he has that type of upside and talent. We've seen him do astronomical things, rebounding the ball and blocking shots. He just can't seem to do it consistently, and he can't seem to stay on the floor. So, he's a good piece for them, I believe. Nurkic, just like I mentioned, he's a good piece, similar skill set. He's coming back from injury at some point. I know they lost a couple of their guys to injury, but at the same time, I know that Anthony Simons is a player who's come along very well, and looks like he's well on his way to establishing himself as a nice guard in this league. What I'm not certain about, and I've never been certain about, is C.J. McCollum and Dame Lillard together. It seems like they're a bit redundant to me. You definitely want to appreciate what they can do. You certainly love having scorers of that caliber, but it just seems like neither one of them are great defenders. Neither one of them are even considered really good defenders. So when you have that type of offensive firepower, it's capped off by the inability to really defend. But because they have elite shot blocking out there in Hassan Whiteside, it should help with the losses of the defensive players that I've already mentioned. So maybe it makes sense for them to move CJ. Obviously, you don't move Dame. Dame's an elite player in this league, and he's the heart and soul of your franchise, probably a statue type player for you. So you ain't going to move him. But Dame is a guy, CJ's a guy you can probably move. He's on a good contract. Whatever he's being paid, he's worth it. We know what type of player he is. And, you can probably get back some pieces that kind of fit the mold of what a real basketball team should look like. I know they've overachieved for the last several years. They've made the playoffs and they've done damage in the playoffs, but they haven't been good enough to really come out of the West. And I think that's solely because the team just simply isn't constructed properly. Not enough from the power forward position, definitely not enough from the small forward position. And they're hoping Carmelo Anthony can help with that. I have my doubts because Carmelo Anthony's a bit older now, obviously, and he's not a good defender, never was. And some of the things that he was great at, he's just not going to be great at going forward. But the kickstand, his shot should still be available. He's been in great shape over the last several months, knowing that this is looming, so he should be in great shape. Rather, his conditioning should have matched what he thought was coming. So that would assume he's in the best shape he can possibly be in right now. And, he should be very, very excited and very humbled by everything that is going on. And if he's anything like Dwight Howard, he's ready to go. So nobody's confusing either one of them, him or Dwight, for being, anything less than Hall of Famers. They definitely are. And, I expect good things out of Carmelo Anthony, even though I'm not in love with the fit. The Blazers have a player by the name of Nasir Little that they drafted. And I think Nasir Little is going to be an impact player for them over the next several years. It would behoove them to put him on the floor and see what he can do. I don't think he's been getting a whole lot of minutes. I don't know what his health situation is. I just don't know. I don't follow the Blazers that strongly. But they needed a small forward. They drafted one, and it would make a lot of sense for them to try to get him some playing time this season. Even if it means some growing pains, even if it means he doesn't break out in any way, just get him started because you need him. And you need what he brings to the table. So that's just my opinion. And as I mentioned, Anthony Simons, that's a player who I heard his name a couple times. He was drafted several years ago, but you know the word around town is that this dude is an extremely gifted offensive player on a rookie contract. It's not going to cost you a whole lot because he hasn't established his name yet. I think it would be wise for them to try to focus on him, get him a lot of minutes off the bench, get him many shots as he can, and having CJ down there making $100 million or whatever he's making, although he's worth it, he may not necessarily be the best use of their cap space at that position when you got a player like Simons on the bench who could start probably within a year or two from now. So for me, I'm trading CJ, and I'm going to try to bring back some defensive players, maybe a power forward, small forward, a couple of guys like that who can really, really do some damage for you and kind of bring a little more balance to their roster. That's just my opinion. I don't love that roster, to be honest. I do love some of the players they have, but not the roster itself. And I think that's kind of why they haven't come out of the West or even sniffed at coming out of the West, with the exception of obviously running into Golden State. They just haven't really been good enough from the forward positions. So they're hoping Carmelo can help them with that. And I don't know that he can, to be honest with you. I know he can do the things that he can do, scoring the ball, but consistency, no. Defense, definitely not. You know, it's just going to be about what Carmelo can do to display his strengths at this stage, because we know what his weaknesses are and you know what his shortcomings will be. But all in all, Portland is a team that's kind of fighting near the bottom of the West right now, even though that bottom is considered logjam. If you ask me, it's still very early. I think they're like 4-7 or something like that. It's like 3 or 4 teams at the bottom of the West who are 4-7. So it's like, okay, they can either move up or move down. But what's evident to me is that they have some players coming back from injury, and they're bringing in Carmelo Anthony. So we'll see how that all plays itself out. Coaching staff will have some work to do to make it all fit. But anyway, that's what I got, man. Congratulations to Carmelo Anthony. You're back in the league, man, and well deserved. I hope you succeed. BDF 44 signing out. Peace.